Hello, and welcome back to HunterTuned. Today we are messing with a few things out at the shop, and one of the things we are messing with is this free car that we got. We got this car, I pretty much say it was free because the guy just said, hey, give my kids some money when you're up at the track next, and I think we agreed on like 200 bucks. Right. So this car is a pile of shit, no title, just hoopty. But it had a decent motor in it, and it had a decent turbo kit. We got rid of the turbo kit already to somebody, and we might be getting rid of the motor or parting it out, and we're going to be tearing it down today and seeing kind of what's all inside, because I am genuinely super curious what's inside that motor. And like I said, we might part it out, or I might sell it like complete to somebody if somebody offered me a really decent chunk of change. You know, willing to ship it, I suppose, if it's decent and somebody offers me good money for it. I probably would ship it. It would be expensive to ship, but, you know, we're at UPS all the fucking time now, spending a shitload of money on shipping stuff. Right. So, and then I'm at the post office nearly every day doing injectors and whatever from the website. Oh, by the way, guys, I have one set of flexes left in stock currently, so if you want a set, hit me up. I got a bunch of normal style injectors. Another misconception, I'm just going to mention it one more time. You can run E85 with the normal style injectors. I just say that on the website that the flex style is flex style because they came out of a flex style vehicle, but they both are E85 safe. So yeah, normal style is good for like 450. The flexes are good for like 450, 500 for ethanol fuel. If you're on pump gas, 5 to 550, and you know 550 to 600 if you're on pump gas. So yeah, like flexes would be good for, you know, 600 or so on pump. Normal styles would be good for like 5. Anyways, just kind of showing you guys here, we just pushed this thing in the shop here and got it all torn down. We got the motor out of it, the axles out of it, and I was kind of curious if you guys knew what axles these were, because they don't look stock. They don't appear to be stock, at least. They have like a, they're like a darker shade of, oh, actually there is a part number on it. HO554. Maybe they are stock. I don't know, but they have like a bronze end on them. I haven't really seen that. So the end that goes into the transmission is like almost copper colored on both of them. So
no, those aren't stock.
I don't know. They might be stock. No, otherwise they're like some aftermarket thing.
The stock ones on, I forget what side it is. It's grooved on the inside, so it's like a.
Yeah, it's got like a divot in it.
Right.
Yeah.
There's 3 of them, and there's nothing.
Oh, that one doesn't have it.
That's the one side, yeah.
Oh, right here. Yeah, I got one back here.
Yeah, with those divots.
Okay, so there's divots in the axle normally. There isn't on these ones. So I don't know, maybe it's got like B-series cups on it. No, it can't. I don't know what the fuck. It's got a seems like an aftermarket axle. I don't know. I might keep them. We'll see. We might put this motor into something. I don't know. I just can't find another cheap car for... There's no cheap Hondas for sale right now. Otherwise, I would try to find like a... I was going to buy a $300 EG, and the guy just hasn't gotten back to me in like 2 weeks. So that would be cool if I could find an EG. If this thing's got a decent clutch. We're just going to dive right into it, guys. I'm going to quit babbling. So like I said, got this thing torn down. Just the motor out of it and stuff. We were going to make a video on driving this thing, but it is way too sketchy as is, with the windshield smashed in, and it needs like a wheel bearing or something really bad, and it stinks so bad.
It smells like a dog shit.
It literally smells terrible in this car. Like, fucking terrible. It's been sitting outside, and the fucking window was down, so like it's got water and shit in it all over. Yeah, like we're gonna have a whole day into completely gutting this car. Like we're ripping everything out. Yeah. So we're just gonna get this thing pushed outside, and we'll put this thing on the motor stand. Alrighty, guys. So we got this turd of an engine sitting up on the engine stand now. We got it all hooked up, obviously. So now we're gonna start tearing this thing down. We already got the clutch and flywheel off of this, and turns out the thing actually had a really decent clutch in it. Wherever it is here, there it is. Really decent. Real decent. Okay, so this is an ACT 6-puck racing clutch here. So ACT is a very good brand. It looks to have some good life yet. If anybody is interested in this clutch, let me know. I don't know if this is going to be like a part out video or what we're going to end up doing. I keep going back and forth in my head of what I want to do, because I'm kind of done with single cams. Like, I don't really want to play with them anymore. I'd rather just focus on my B series for the purple car. So anyways, guys, there's the disc. Looks all right. And then we got the pressure plate here, which is actually like no hot spots, no crazy hot spots or anything like that. And it actually looks like it's fucking brand new yet. So that looks good. And then it has ACT flywheel. So there's ACT. Like I said, there's like no hot spots on it or nothing. This is an SFI approved flywheel, so that's pretty cool. It's got an SFI stamp on it, dude.
Really?
Yeah. There's a part number there. PN 800120. Whatever that is. So yeah, we're gonna continue ripping this thing down. The next thing we're taking off is like the external stuff. So the distributor's coming off right now, plug wires, all that kind of stuff. I know that the distributor is an MSD external coil setup, and I do have all the parts that go with it. So we have like MSD Pro Cap here, and then the coil is sitting over here. Right here, so this is the MSD blaster coil. I'd probably want like $100 for this setup with the distributor. Anybody's interested in that. I don't know how much the clutch would go for being used. Like I said, it is used, but it's like, it looks really good yet. Like it doesn't have any miles on it. So, or at least it doesn't have any like really hard miles. I don't know what I'd ask for that. I did have a couple people hit me up on the AEM fuel pressure regulator already. I just have to get back to them. So I'm sorry, if you were interested in the regulator, just send me another message. Haven't gotten back to you, I apologize. So there's that, and then the RC 750s, which all worked good yet. Those I'd probably want $100 for. I could probably include the wiring. It's just like stock OBD1 wiring, I think, for the injectors there. And we'll get this intake manifold ripped off, 12mm bolts all around the perimeter. Christian's all over this fucking project here.
Yeah, I've done this before.
You've done this
a couple
before,
times.
he says. And then we'll move on. Once the intake's off, we'll pull the valve cover, see what's under that.
Hunter said I couldn't pull a valve cover right away, and I had
I want to pull all the stuff off the outside off first, and then I dissect into the motor.
No, I do that right away.
I know.
All right, guys. So we got the intake off, everything on the back of the block, the water pipe, black box, all that fun jazz. The T that was in for the oil pressure and the oil feed, and then got the dizzy off. You saw that. Nothing up front. Right now, Hunter's trying to take off the crank pulley.
Wow, fresh battery does a lot. Dude, you guys want a good impact for pretty cheap? This fucking Earthquake's a beast. It really is. From Harbor Freight, it works good. There has not been a bolt I have not been able to get out with a fresh battery. So now we're gonna rip the timing cover off of this beast.
Oh, and quick tip here. After you take the trans off, just take the, what is it, 4 or 5 10 mils
For the rear main seal.
that hold the rear main seal on, because then you don't have to get in there with a wrench and do it. It's way easier.
Yeah, because when it's on the stand, you can't get at those bolts.
I mean, you can.
It's just a little difficult.
Normally when we do this, I'm on that side, on the transmission side, and then
There's the dipstick.
Hunter's on the driver's side, crank pulley side.
Wow, they have every single bolt in the timing cover.
Yeah.
Who the fuck does that?
People do stuff the right way sometimes.
Oh, there was a guy that commented on one of my old videos and says I should label all my videos how not to do stuff because I'm a hack. And I asked him why. Crickets. I'm not no fucking professional, but I guarantee that guy ain't either.
Right.
Nobody's a professional. You're not the best at everything. Nobody's the best. There's always somebody better than you. Like I was telling Christian earlier, we're not professional mechanics. We're just mechanics that get it done.
Right.
And it works. Oh, this cam gear is Z6 or Y8. It has 2 different marks on it.
All right.
For timing, yeah. That's pretty cool. It's a Skunk 2 racing cam gear. And it has Y8 and Z6 labeled on it because the Y8 and Z6 are a little bit different for like timing.
4.7 degrees.
Something like that. Okay, so there's the cover. We got a Gates Racing timing belt kit here. OEM Honda water pump. Loose timing belt, no big deal. Yeah, so we're gonna rip the motor mount off here. I have an impact sitting right next to me.
Yep.
And I'm not using it. Get the little spring guy off of there.
Tensioner, $60. Hit me up.
Fucking belt looks good yet. I gotta take off this damn 10 mil for the crank sensor. We don't ever run these.
Throw it in the garbo.
Throw in the garbo, yeah. Gates Racing timing belt T224RB in good shape. Yeah, like that. I would throw that right back on something.
And you're right back on the ground.
Right. There's a crank gear, a washer deal, timing belt guide washer. All right, now we can rip the water pump off. This is gonna be a gutted fucking single cam motor by the time we're done.
Mm-hmm.
But it does need to be gone through a little bit, I think, because I can see right now that it had a leaking cam seal, and that's why there's oil down the side of the block here. And it had a couple other like little external oil leaks. Nothing crazy, but did have some oil leaks, probably because this motor's been in the car for a while. Okay, so now we're gonna proceed to ripping the cylinder head off of this thing. We got one bolt left on the valve cover, and then the valve cover will come off, and we'll see what's under the lid. That's why I don't buy nice tools.
Yeah, because you just throw
Because I
shit.
can throw them and not have to worry about it. And they still work. Alright, so there we go. There's the valve cover removed.
This titanium valve spring?
Yep. We got Brian Crower springs retainers, it looks like. So next we're going to rip off the rocker assembly and pull the camshaft out of it.
If anybody knows what this fucking bolt's for,
It's for the thing, you know?
it literally goes to nothing.
Is it just like a plug for a passageway?
Yeah, but there's no passageway.
Really?
Let me know. Let me know what that's for.
There we go. Got the rocker assembly off.
Some clear goop.
And lo and behold, here is the camshaft. Oh, that cam seal is really in there. Oh.
I don't think it was leaking.
Okay, so we have a little bit of marking on it. It is a Crower camshaft. Brian Crower cam. Part number 63442Y, it looks like. And the Skunk 2 Pro Series cam gear.
I think we have another. We have a stock wide cam. I want to compare it and see what
Oh yeah?
the difference is.
Alright, so I guess now we're just gonna pull the head studs and yeah.
It's a 12.5 inch, right? Or 13?
13, yeah, or half inch drive over there. Is it?
No.
What?
No.
No?
No. 12.
12 then.
There you go. Yeah. It is.
Sleeved?
Mm-hmm.
I can't tell. Hang on. Put this up here.
I need another hand.
Get the head gasket off. It looks like an OEM Honda head gasket. Wow, that's a thinned out head gasket maybe. Yeah, it looks like probably just a block guard.
Yeah.
Can't really tell too much. So yeah, there we go. There's the short block. I don't know if it's sleeved or if this is just a block guard. I think it's just a block guard, honestly. And these pistons, I don't know exactly what they are, but they're not Viterra's. All right, guys, so we got the rest of the block torn down. It's a bare block finally. We pulled this thing apart, pulled the girdle off of it, and all the bearings inside look brand new still. So this thing was put together very well. Like I said, all the bearings literally look brand new. It does have some sort of block guard in it, ARP head studs, and yeah, other than that, we pulled the crank and rods and pistons out and found some more good parts. So the crank, unfortunately, is a Y8 crank, but the crank itself is in extremely good condition. Like all the journals look brand new yet, like they were just polished. So that's cool. And then we do have the cylinder head over here that we already talked about. And here is the rods and pistons that came out of this thing. They are a Wiseco, probably 9-to-1 compression ratio piston, and Eagle H-beam rod. These are a little bit dirty from just, you know, the motor having kind of crappy oil in it, or just dirty oil. It definitely needed an oil change. But yeah, Eagle H-beams. And the cool thing is when you run a forged piston in a single cam is they change your wrist pin height, so you don't need a longer rod to get them to sit flat to the top of the deck. So yeah, Wiseco pistons, Wiseco forged pistons, and the Eagle H-beam rods here. We will be selling those, so if anybody's interested, please hit me up. I know a combo like this with the forged pistons, I think the pistons alone are like 400 or 500, and then the rods are another like 3. So I don't know, shoot me an offer. $400 or $500 is probably what I'm thinking for the pair of rods and pistons here. And then I would like to probably sell the head as like a whole thing, because I don't really want to take the valves and stuff out of it. It does have valves in it as well. These are aftermarket valves. Not exactly sure what valves they are, but this head is like complete, ready to go, like bolted on kind of thing. So I'd probably want to sell it as a package, like as a built cylinder head. So that's probably what I'll do with this. And then the camshaft, I don't know what we're going to want for that. I don't know what they really go for. With the cam gear, probably $250, $200 to $250, something like that. And remember, guys, like we're just parting this thing out so we can get some more money to put into, like, if I sell a lot of this parts, I plan on buying Christian and a motor for his S10 and a transmission. Hopefully, we're trying to find a turbo 400 tranny or a turbo 350. And that's what we're going to do with the S10. We're going to do a 4.8 or 5.3 or 6 liter, which we already found a motor, and we're still looking for a transmission. So we're trying to find that, and that's why we're kind of getting rid of a lot of this, you know, the parts out of the junk car, because it was free and it's a good way to make some money. So that's what we're doing. And I've had a lot of people hit me up on my cut list because I just posted the big block and the transmission for sale on my Facebook page for the cut list, and I must have posted that fucker way too cheap, because I posted up for $1,000. Like, you know, I don't even know what the shit would go for, and I've had literally 10 people fucking hit me up on it. Wants the motor and trans, because me and Christian are both jonesing to put an LS in something. The Mustang's been good to go, you know, haven't really messed with it, but we did take the rear end apart, and I might put those clips in here. We did actually pop the cover and check out the Mustang's rear end because we just wanted to. Today, we are doing something that I may regret, or I'll probably regret it. But we are working on my Mustang right now, my 89 LS swapped turbo Mustang. Best ET in the car has been 940, getting out of it at the 8th. So, I mean, I'm sure this will be an 8-second car as soon as we get back to the track next with the new drag radials that we just picked up. But considering I am putting a drag radial on the car, I am a little bit worried about the rear end, because a drag slick will have a lot more cushion and allow for, you know, weak parts to work. So you guys know that I believe that this rear end is completely stock Ford 8.8 rear end, still 4-lug. And the best 60 foot the car has done is a 143 or a 145. I can't remember exactly what it was. Nothing too fast, nothing too crazy, but with the drag radial on it, we're trying to get into the 1.3 range 60 foot, which I don't think will have a problem as long as the car doesn't wheel hop or anything like that. And this car has never wheel hopped. It has a good suspension setup, etc., etc. So without further ado, guys, we are actually pulling the cover off of the rear end of the Mustang, and I just figured I would film it because I've never even opened this fucking rear end. I've never touched it. I've never checked the fluid. I've never done anything with this rear end ever since I got this car. It's made a shitload of drag passes, 148 mile an hour passes, just fast. And I don't know what the hell's in the rear end. I'm assuming it's a 373 gear by the way that the car traps and the RPM it rides at the quarter mile and whatnot. With the tire size that I have, there's calculators online. But anyways, I just pulled all the bolts off the cover, and I'm about to pull the cover off for the first time. I was actually just going to check the fluid, and that's it. But turns out that the fill bolt on the rear end is completely stripped out. So I'm pulling the cover off mainly to put a fill plug on it, and I'm just gonna drill and tap the cover so we can be able to fill the rear end instead of using the stock fill plug, which is completely stripped out. I can't get it out. So yeah, we're gonna dive right into this. You might need a light, Christian. Christian's filming with my phone right now, so you might need to grab another light. We actually just drove this thing all day long today, and drove it in the fucking rain. I put a bunch of miles on it, just street driving it, so that was really cool. I haven't street driven this car in a long time, but it's always had kind of like a weird, I don't know if it's like a howl, but it's like almost like a vibration from the rear end. And I know it's not drive shaft related or anything like that because we have a perfect drive shaft, good U-joints, you know, suspension stuff's all there. So I'm wondering maybe if the rear end was just low on fluid, and that's why I am checking it. So we're gonna pop the cover here for the first time ever. I got all the bolts out already, and I really have not pulled this cover off, so fluid should come out. Should. Okay. Yeah, there was fluid in there. All right. Wow, that's like fucking gasket if I ever saw one.
Yeah.
So you guys can tell this is uncut. Because, yeah, we're just pulling the goddamn cover right off. There was fluid in it. Probably shouldn't have touched it. Wow, that's got more fucking knock than the Oldsmobile.
Yeah.
It feels good though.
Does it?
Good backlash. Sweet. Well, nothing's broken. Yeah, so I'm gonna go put the car in neutral here so we can spin it around. I'm gonna see if there's any chunks in the bottom of this thing. Get this RTV off of here.
You mean someone had to have cracked this thing open?
Oh yeah, it's been into. That's the thing. It definitely has been torn into before. What does that say? 1L2DA? 1L2-DA. It says on the fucking ring gear.
DA Integra?
Right? Is this an Integra, dude? No way.
I think so.
No way.
Yeah, you can't see shit.
No fucking chunks whatsoever. No chunks. That's good. Yeah, I'm not touching it. I'm just gonna scoop ski potato the fluid out. Scoop ski potato. Scoop ski potato. Scoop ski potato. All right, I gotta wash my hands off quick. We'll pick up in a minute. Fucking pin looks good.
I just don't think it's a good idea to go any further.
Yeah. Are you filming?
Yeah.
Oh.
Why?
I just wondered. All right, so yeah, we don't know. I honestly think the rear end is bone stock, but it does look like it has a different gear in it, maybe, and it's been into before. But I have no idea how to get this little C-clip thing out of here. But I'm not gonna take it out, so you guys can tell me. So next time I get in here, when I break it, or maybe I'll never break it, but when I break this rear end at some point, you guys will know, or you guys can tell me how to take the little C-clip thing out. This guy right up here. You know, to get the axles out, because I have no idea how that little spring guy comes out of there. All right, guys, so we got the rear end tore out of the Mustang. Not tore out, I got it kind of tore apart. I got the C-clips out, and I pulled one of the axle shafts just because I was curious if this rear end was built at all, or if it was actually the stock rear end. And it is definitely a stock 28 spline Ford 8.8 rear end. And like I said, it's been taking abuse like crazy. Every other vehicle I've had, I've always broken the rear ends. That's why this car, I've just been really shocked that it's held up as good as it has. So anyways, we did just pull one of the axles out to just verify that it is 28 spline. And it is, because I want to build up this rear end a little bit, or at least just get some C-clip eliminators. But I have no idea what to buy. So like the drum is off, obviously. And I think the C-clip eliminator bolts to the 4 bolts that holds this seal and bearing in. I think that's how that works, and that bearing will get pressed onto the shaft and then bolt in as one unit, and then you can throw the C-clip in the garbage. Right? I think. I don't know how it works. I don't know what C-clip eliminator works good. I don't know what one doesn't leak, and I don't know what one to buy. So if any of y'all have recommendations for the old 28 spliner right here. Look how crispy clear my fucking iPhone is. Yeah. You can see right there, there's a little bit of wear, like right where the contact ends, but not bad.
I don't agree with any of this.
Right there. Why don't you agree?
I didn't want to take it apart.
I know, we should have just fucking left it.
I know. We got, what, 2 track days left? 1 track day left?
Oh yeah, I know. I'm not going to build it or anything now.
No, I know, but I'm saying...
I just want to know what was in it.
I would have rather have taken it apart after the season.
Yeah.
To figure
but
out.
Realistically, it will do nothing. It will change nothing if I don't pull the caps. I feel like if I pulled the caps off and pulled the diff out, then we might be fucking tampering into shit we shouldn't be.
Right.
But just sliding the axle out literally isn't doing anything. So, yeah. So anyways, there we go. 373 gear, 28 spline. And if I want to upgrade to more than a 28 spline axle, I need to get a different carrier. I don't know anything about rear end stuff. I don't know really how to shim them. I don't know how to set them up right. And yeah. So, if any of y'all know, drop it down in the ship box. And let me know what I should get for this thing. What kind of eliminators work good. What ones will work with this rear end specifically. Maybe I'll buy like a diff brace or something, or weld the tubes, because these tubes are completely unwelded. That'd be another thing that kind of strengthened it up a little bit. And I also want to know what to do with the torque boxes, because everybody's been telling me, Hunter, you're going to rip the torque boxes out of that car, oh, blah, 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 blah. I haven't yet. I do, you know, if the car's 60 foot's better than it is now, it is a possibility. I just don't know what to reinforce on the torque box or how to reinforce it. So if any of y'all have a video or something that you want to link, drop it down there, let me know. But yeah, so anyways, that's gonna be it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. We pulled the rear end out of the Mustang, or pulled it apart a little bit, checked it out, checked the fluid, checked the axles. My grandpa told me a hot rod trick back in the days. He actually took some paint marker and you drew a line on the axle shaft, and then you would pull it out after a track day and see if the line moved, because then you'll know if you're tweaking the axle or not, or if it's weak or whatever. But this thing doesn't have any sign of slowing down, I don't think, other than like right up on the axles here. There's a little bit of marking on them, but nothing really. I mean, the splines aren't like twisted or anything. So yeah, and the wheel studs haven't broke off. I know that's another thing that everybody says that breaks, but that hasn't happened. Yeah. So yeah, anyways. So yeah, anyways, that's gonna be it for this video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hit me up if you need some single cam parts. We're just trying to liquidate and part some stuff out and help you guys out at the same time. So yeah, I got new rods coming for the purple car. They should be here by tomorrow or Friday, and then we're gonna have to take them to the machine shop, get them hammered out. And the purple car, I'm hoping we can get together by like next weekend. I just have to get these different connecting rods in that are different length, so we can make everything happy and work together as one. So yeah. Anyways, we got a mess to clean up, and we're gonna catch you later. Have a great night and better tomorrow, and hit us up with all your single cam parts wants.